What's up, everybody? My name is CoalFire, and we hit 900 subscribers yesterday. I held off a little bit on doing this video because the numbers have been all over the place lately. Like, it's been going down and up and down and up and down and up, and I keep getting this notification from YouTube saying they're purging subscribers, and even though it was only supposed to happen over 2 days, it seems like it's happening quite a bit. I don't really know what's going on, but we've sat above the threshold for 24 hours now, and I feel a little more comfortable making this video. I wanted to do something a little different for this one, because I am a very, very private person when it comes to the things that I do online and on YouTube, and even now that I've started writing for Overpowered Noobs as a review writer, I'm still going by CoalFire there, so it doesn't link back to me personally in any way, but I wanted to let people know a little bit more about me. Hopefully stuff that doesn't actually trace back to me. It probably can be, but at the same time, people who stick around long enough, I want to give people a little bit more info about me, despite really hoping that it never truly affects my personal and home life. But yeah, so here we go. I have 5 things written out. If it devolves into more than that, then who knows? I never script this shit. I have a degree in biology. I did most of my undergraduate research concerning molecular microbiology, with differential gene expression and quorum sensing. But for those of you that don't know what that means, is I looked at how bacteria changed the way that they express genes based on whether or not they can talk to one another chemically. And a lot of that research was done with Queen, my occasional co-host, and we were laboratory buddies for 3 years, as we both worked in the same microbiology lab in college. I actually have 2 cats. Some people actually know that already because they've been featured in previous videos, but this little fucker back here, Knox, is the only one who likes to sit up really high. Umbra, my other cat, is extremely shy, and he never says hi much. He's a skittish little fucker, but they're both beautiful. I love them both. They're my little fur children, and they show their affection through bodily wounds. You know, like cats too. I have a bunch of friends that actually started doing YouTube before I did. So there's a couple other YouTube channels. Some of them have moved over to Twitch. Gumby484, who has been on the channel several times and whose streams I frequent, is actually a lot of the reason that I got into YouTube, because he and I were roommates in college. Along with Nick, who occasionally comes on the channel as well. He and I are more often on Gumby's streams than he is on the channel. Improvised gaming and D&D. I'll put up all of their links in the description, and yeah. Those guys I all went to college with. They all did YouTube before me. They all had gaming PCs while I was still on console. And those 3, 4 are a lot of the reason that I even started doing all of this. So you can blame all of them and go say hi and subscribe to them, because they're fantastic people. Even if Improv doesn't really do much YouTube anymore. Neither does Gumby. He's over on Twitch. But D&D is a very infrequent uploader, but he's got some good shit. He's got some really good shit, like comedic reviews, and they're fucking fantastic. I got my first game console when I was 4 years old. I remember getting a Nintendo 64 in 1996. I was at my grandparents' house, and I remember getting it, and it had a copy of Super Mario 64 with it. And since then, I'm just going through consoles because I had some handhelds in there, but I can't remember when I had all of them. I had an N64 and then a GameCube, and then I switched over to Xbox, then on to an Xbox 360 and a Wii, and later on got a PlayStation 3 that lasted me all the way through college. And in college was when I met all of those other guys and switched over to PC gaming. And because of how much time I spent on consoles, I never played indie games before starting the channel. Like, Einar, the first video that I did for the channel, was one of the first indie games that I ever played. And it's kind of crazy to me that how old was I when I started the channel? 25? Yeah, 25 years of almost no indie games whatsoever. And now I've played like nearly 1,000 indie games in just a year and a half. And it's kind of crazy how that's all changed over. I did own a PlayStation 4 at one point because I had to play Bloodborne. I was a fan of the Souls series since Demon Souls. I played that back on PS3, and then Dark Souls 2, and I played Dark Souls 3 before playing Bloodborne, I think, because I had graduated from college. I was broke as fuck, and I couldn't afford a PlayStation 4, so I bought one on Craigslist and a copy of Bloodborne, and then I sold them when I was finished. Yeah. And lastly, the whole CoalFire head is entirely based off of me. Like, I don't want to show my face on the channel because I always want to be able to maintain my own private life and not be recognized if I ever go out, and which, considering me, I don't go out often, but that's a different story. I am balding, so I shave my head, which is why the head here is completely bald. I have a big ass black beard, and yeah, I have blue eyes with very, very pale skin. So the whole CoalFire head, and I guess body, I do wear a lot of sweats, is completely based off of me. And besides the fact that it lacks a nose, I would say that, like, you know, it's pretty accurate. This is almost exactly what I look like. This is me. The only difference is that my head is not actually on fire. And then lastly, ending it on a less joyful note, I want to talk a little bit about my own mental illnesses, because I talk about it a lot on the channel, about how I suffer from depression and all that, but I don't think I've ever actually shared my legitimate diagnoses with anybody on the channel, but I figured, why the fuck not? I talk about it all the time, so why not actually put it all down and say, like, yes, these are the things that I actually have. I have been diagnosed with chronic depression, whatever the, like, current term for it now is, like, persistent dysthymic disorder. I think that's the new term, with the updated book that tells everything. I have agoraphobia, which is like the fear of situations where I don't know how to get myself out. A lot of people generalize that to like fear of the outside or fear of like large crowds, which crowds, yes, partially, but it's more just like actually leaving the house and having to deal with situations where I can't just retreat back to my room very easily. Stresses me the fuck out. It really does. Like, I get super anxious. I have panic attacks, to the point where I'm just like, even if I'm in the middle of something, I just have to leave and go home. And I can't fucking deal with it. And like some mild social anxiety. It's a lot better now ever since I've gotten it under control a little bit more. And yeah, so those are the things that I suffer from on a regular basis. They are pretty well under control, but I like to think that I don't come across as somebody who suffers from a lot of those things. And I think the channel itself has actually helped me quite a bit in dealing with a lot of that. That kind of took a turn into some not as happy stuff, but you know, now you guys know a little bit more about me. My degree, my cats, the people I know on YouTube that are actually kind of responsible for getting me into YouTube, my console history, that this is actually based off of me, and the things wrong with Monogon. It's cool. Again, we're here. 900 people. That's fucking awesome. And I owe it all to you guys. Every little bit of this. The subscribers, the developers. Like, really, I feel like I don't give the developers enough thanks, because nearly all of the content that I do is based off of their work, and I'm just sitting here like poking at it in videos. And I know a lot of them are like really appreciative for the content, but I don't think I ever give them enough thanks. And to the devs, to the people who subscribe, to my patrons, Jesus Christ, patrons, you guys are amazing. Like, actually giving me something for doing all of this. That link is usually down in the description if anybody else wants to get their name in the credits. Just throwing that out there. But 900 people. Thank you all so goddamn much. But thank you so much for watching. My name is CoalFire, and I will see you next time.